How are, how our actions ruin oceans? Presented by and produced by Emily Baker. What is pollution? Pollution can be multiple things, such as industrial processes like manufacturing and power generation, fossil fuel combustion from vehicles and heating, agricultural or cultural activities like fertilizer runoff and deforestation, waste disposal practices such as landfills and practice use, and even natural friends like wildfires and volcanic eruptions. Here's a couple charts on rain litter. We can see here that just in 19 years, it says that there's a lot of pollution going up to over 30 million of plastic waste. And over here is a pie chart of like how many like the most popular trash like it's in the ocean, and we can see that over here it's a little more over than 62% is all plastic. Then the rest is just other stuff, as you can see right here. What do we do to ruin oceans? First off, we throw away plastic, glass, or any type of trash. Then it goes into the bins or dumpsters. Then the trucks take them to the dump sites. And since we're not around oceans, it's still harmful. Let me explain. In certain states, like Arizona, we have lakes, rivers, streams, and drain storms. And when trash gets in those bodies of water, they always lead to the ocean. And when it gets in those and when trash in the ocean is in there, it causes to harm plants, animals, which leads to extinction for the animals. When there's no plants, there's no animals, which causes them all to die due to the lack of ecosystem traits. Here's an example of a video.
Today we're going to talk about trash, specifically how trash ends up in the LA River. Sometimes the river has lots of trash in it, but that's not necessarily because people are dumping trash into the river. It's a little bit more complicated than that. You see, trash travels. This here is a storm drain. Storm drains are found throughout the entire 900 square miles of our LA River watershed. A watershed is an area of land where water collects and drains into one place, such as an ocean or other body of water. In the LA River watershed, the LA River and smaller rivers called tributaries join together and drain in the ocean in Long Beach. The LA River is designed to drain rainwater out to the ocean. This here is the end of a storm drain. So after a storm event, water flows through storm drains and ends up in the river. But it's not only water. That water carries with it all sorts of contaminants like plastics and pollutants and fertilizers. What somebody does in the mountains, for instance, directly affects the people and wildlife miles away in Long Beach. Here in the Glendale Narrows, we have lots of different vegetation, plants and trees, and trash that ends up here gets trapped in that vegetation, and if we don't get it out, it could easily flow down into the ocean. So what can we do about this? The first thing you can do is use less plastic. Next, you can start picking up trash. You can do this in your own neighborhood because remember, even if you don't live right next to the river, trash in your neighborhood can still get carried miles away into the river when it rains. So by picking up trash in your neighborhood, no matter where you live, you're helping the river.
Is this harmful to animals? Is this harmful to animals and why? Well, yes, it is harmful to animals, and here's why. When trash gets in the ocean, animals get harmed, and this is because they either think it's food or they get stuck in it. And they get choke in it. It might get stuck around their neck, which causes them to suffocate from lack of oxygen. And when this happens, marine biologists and other people who work for the ocean don't know of a new species that they never discovered before got extinct without them knowing anything about them, and it kills other marine life off that we do know of. Is this harmful to humans? While plastic debris is the most visible component of ocean pollution and is rapidly accumulating, it is the visible chemicals, particles, metals, and biologic toxins that have been shown to affect human health. Manufactured chemicals, phthalates, bisphenol A, flame retardants, and fluorinated chemicals. Many of them released into the seas from plastic waste can disrupt endocrine significantly the damage for the nervous system and increase the risk of cancer. More than 14 million tons of plastic enter the ocean each year, outpacing the efforts to remove it. What's scarier still, the global problem affects more than wildlife. Plastic has entered the human food chain through the water we drink out of and the fish we eat. How does it affect our oceans? It affects our plants, animals, and coral reefs. If the plants die, it can get really bad, especially for kelp forests. Kelp forests is a home to many creatures and is also a food source. And if they die, so does the animals. And when the animals die, predators die. When the predators die, the whole ecosystem dies. People think that coral is rocks, and if you think that, you're wrong. Coral is actually an animal called polyps, and they have a job for the ocean. Their job is to filter the ocean so there's not a lot of particles or bacteria in the water, like how trees take in carbon dioxide from humans and turn it to oxygen. And there's homes to thousands of creatures, and if the coral is gone, so is the animals. This is what coral reefs look like before and after. Are coral reefs still alive? Yes, they're still alive, but scientists say that 90% of them may not live until 2050. Because of the poor conditions, lack of treatment, and mainly trash, it's also the global warming. When coral reefs are too warm, they turn white and die. Half the Great Barrier Reef has been bleached to death since 2016. Why is over 90% of the Great Barrier Reef dead? Nearly 80% of the reefs throughout the Great Barrier Reef were exposed to heat stress levels that cause bleaching above 5 degrees Celsius weeks. The majority of the weeks, about 60%, were exposed to moderate heat stress, around 4 to 8 degrees Celsius weeks. How can we stop this? We can pick up trash, secure all trash tightly in bags, don't litter, sign up for any charity to help to keep oceans clean and healthy. Scientists are still trying to keep the global warming solved, but it might take a while, and it takes everyone to help. Conclusion. Thank you for watching my slides. Have a good day.